Welcome everyone out to West Lawrence High School. We're here with head football coach Kagan McLean, and Coach McLean we're off and running. We got a scrimmage game behind us. It's football season. You got to feel good about squaring it off this past Friday night against a very well coached team, and seeing what you had against some decent competition, well coached team.
Yeah, it's good to finally get out there and play somebody else. You know, you go through the summer and you're working against yourself. You're doing 7-on-7s and then a padded camp or two here and there, and then you finally get the pads on and you just bang on each other for a couple weeks. So it's nice to get out there and hit someone else and see how we do against some competition. And like you said, you know, Bleckley County is a very well-coached football team. They got a great coaching staff over there. Coach Laster's put together some really good assistants. You know, they picked up a new defensive coordinator this year, and Coach Ford, who was the head coach at Buford for years. So he's got a wealth of experience and knowledge, and of course, you know, Coach Patrick over there, the OC, is a very good football coach. So they've got a good staff, and to get to go against those guys in a scrimmage is always a good test and a good measuring stick for us.
Yeah, Coach, you look at that program, it will grow with the coaching staff that they have, with ability and having one school in that county.
Right.
That program will come back. They've invested, the community, the school system have invested a lot into that. And you've always said, Coach, that you want to play a well-coached team.
Right.
And just looking at your history, Coach, in the last years, and 2 years, this is beginning of your third year as a head coach, right. But you look at a scrimmage game as just an opportunity. You don't care about the score. You don't care what's happening. You want to see what you can put on the field and how kids execute.
Right. Well, we're looking at in the scrimmage, and I've had scrimmages in the past where we didn't even turn the scoreboard on because I don't want people worried about that. I don't want to, be up 21-0 and then people get mad because you're working on your passing game, or vice versa. Be down 28-0 and you're working on your run game and people are mad you're not throwing the ball. Yeah. So I want to get out there and work against what they're going to do and what we want to do, and rather than worrying about the situations, just find out what kind of football team we are, what we can do offensively and defensively, and how we respond to certain situations.
Yeah. So, Coach, you go into the scrimmage game, and you're limited on special teams and what you're going to do on special teams at a scrimmage game. But, right. By and large, you put your first man out there, and you're going to play so many quarters. It's the same story. But if we could talk just a moment about that special teams, about the kicking game, and how that's going to play out for us.
Well, kicking game's huge. A lot of people don't put as much stock into it as they should. But, that's a third of the football game. Special teams are called that for a reason. They need to be special. Especially that kickoff and that punt team. If you're not good on those, you're giving up points or you're giving up field position, which are going to lead to points. So those are things that we work on every day. We work punt team every day. No matter what, we're going to find time to work punt team. We work kickoff return every single day. We're going to make sure that those guys are in the right place. And, in a scrimmage, a lot of schools will do them live. A lot of them won't. It just depends on what you're doing. I don't want to run out there and get somebody hurt, necessarily on special teams. Sure. So we'll line up and we'll run through them, but we won't be live on those, and we'll be live this Friday, obviously, with special teams. But they're a vital part. We got a senior kicker back in Cam Coop. He'll be doing our punting and our kicking duties. A.J. Mathis will be our backup punter. He does a good job back there when we need him. And it's nice to have an athlete back there, too, for bad snaps and things like that. Yeah. Those guys will be doing the majority of our kicking duties. Our kickoff team, we try to put our 11 toughest guys out there so they can fly down the field and make plays. And you got to be sound in the kicking game. And I think early in the year, we'll probably be tweaking some things with it, trying to find those guys. But by the time you get to region play, you want to make sure those things are sound and those things are hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, and sometimes you see teams try to give people a breather and you give up a quick 6. Right. That's deadly.
Yeah, we try to, the way we do it is, like on kickoff, for example, being a big one, and punt too, we'll have our top 11 and we'll have 3 or 4 of our top backups that can fill in any spot. Rather than having a backup for every position where, the number 2 at this position is way better than the number 2 over there. Yeah. I'd rather have the kid that's better in there. Sure. So we have 3 or 4 guys that can go into any slot and jump in there, because you're going to have those guys that are going to need those breathers, especially with us. We got some kids that are going to play both ways. And if they're on a special team, we want to try and rest them if we can. Yeah. But at the same time, we don't want to give anything big up.
Yeah. So let's talk about your kicker's leg. Is there a little issue there, a little tweak?
Well, he had ACL surgery in the offseason. Coop did, and so he's still recovering from that. He's been cleared, and he's ready to go, but he's got to work back and get that strength up that he had in it last year. We may have to adjust some things with him and do a little more sky kickoffs early. And just try and pin teams at about the 30 until he gets ready to really foot it and put it in the end zone. Yeah. But he's working through it, and he's done a good job, and hopefully he'll be ready to go this Friday.
Yeah. Coach, in looking back now, you got to look at of course, factors that you knew you were going to do well at, and did you do well at, and factors that you wondered about, and would you do well at? Well, you always counted on defense. West Lawrence has always been a formidable defensive opponent, man. I mean, you're going to bring the heat. You're going to hit somebody. And that's pretty well where you went last week.
Yeah, I was proud of our defensive guys. We played all our starters in the first half, and to have a shutout against a pretty good football team is something, that you can always hang your hat on. They've got that big tackle that's got, 20-plus D1 offers. I think he's narrowed it down to like Georgia, Alabama, and somebody else. And when those are your finals, you're obviously a pretty good player.
Right.
They've got the receiver running back and the Bailey kid that's been offered by Southern Illinois, and he has D1 offers. So they've got several kids over there with offers. So they got some athletic kids, and to go out there and be able to keep them out of the end zone for the whole first half was a big thing. They had one drive where we extended it 3 times on penalties and then a bust in coverage. Yeah. You hate to see that. And then right at the start of the third quarter, we started subbing a few guys in, and they got us on a screen and go for a big touchdown. That's stuff that we've got to eliminate. We've got a couple guys that just want to make every play, and sometimes they got to change their mentality where I've got a job to do, and I can't go try and make every play. I got to do my job and trust my teammates to make their play, and that's how defense fits. But we had a safety that flew downhill trying to make a play, and he didn't do his job, and it resulted in an 80-yard touchdown. But, honestly, I'm glad that happened in the scrimmage. I'd rather that happen than it be perfect, and then he make a bust later. Now it's burned into his brain. I better do my job. And then hopefully he won't make that mistake again.
Yeah. And that's kind of a maturity thing, isn't it, Coach? And it could also be, that first game, that kind of jitters that you get. You want to make every play. You want to, you want to be there. You want to be that team player. But like you say, everybody's got an assignment. Right. Let's flip the ball over now. We were all wondering, how's that line going to do? How you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought there was a huge improvement in our offensive line this past Friday from last year. I mean, those kids, we were able to run the ball, pretty much when we wanted to, which was good. I mean, I felt like we could have probably went there and just ran stretch all night. But they did a great job blocking up front. We still got to eliminate the holdings. Sometimes we get a little lazy with our feet and we want to reach out and grab. But they did a much better job. And, of course, AJ and Brent, we knew that was going to kind of be the strength of our offense. Those two guys opening up holes in the run game by being effective out wide. And Brent caught a couple bombs early, and that kind of, put 2 touchdowns on the board and forced them into double coverage early and opened up the run game for us a little bit. And he's going to have to be able to do that for us to be able to run the football effectively. And I thought they did it Friday night pretty well.
Yeah, all right. We'll take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Come back. Coach has got some highlights from the scrimmage game. You'll want to see them, so stay tuned. Lawrence County's leader in hometown banking is Farmers State Bank. From our customer service professionals to our mortgage specialist or any of our professional lenders, we're committed to making banking as easy as FSB. Farmers State Bank, with locations in Dublin and Cadwell, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. Stop by today and find out why we make banking as easy as FSB.
I'm Heath Richter, and we just want to invite everybody to come on down to the Houston Clinic and check us out at our new facility. We've been in Dublin for a while now, obviously, but have a new office here, and we'd just like you to come down and see some of the new stuff we're offering. And if you need to get checked out, we'd be glad to do that for you. We've got able to do some ultrasound-guided injections now and physical therapy and just a little bit better space, so hopefully we can get you in and out of here a little bit quicker.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
When you want effective, exceptional physical therapy and outstanding results, discover Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine. When your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine. With over 3 decades of combined experience and a unique blend of leading-edge techniques and personal hands-on care, Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine helps people of all ages and from all walks of life. Patients have been able to overcome pain and the impairments that go along with many ortho injuries and conditions. Rehab Advantage in Sports Medicine is committed to giving you the advanced care you need to a quick, safe return to a normal functioning life. Our veteran team of credited specialists in physical and occupational therapies offer evidence-based manual physical therapy. So when your doctor prescribes physical therapy, ask for Rehab Advantage and Sports Medicine of Dublin. Call for an appointment today at 275-1800.
You've got miles and miles of grass to mow. So you're going to need a machine built to perform, day in and day out. season after season. You're going to need a Gravely built to mow the distance.
Now at Myers Equipment and Supplies in Dublin.
All right, we'll welcome you back. We'll jump right into the footage, Coach.
Yeah, early on we really wanted to try and establish a little run game to see how our line would do with that being a question mark. Thought we did good early here. Shante Burney, starting corner, takes a little toss with De'Eric Jackson lead block and gets on the edge. And you're going to see a lot of that this year. We're going to put De'Eric in the backfield. We're going to put Shante and Daniel Dorsey back there running the football and see what they can do because they're athletes. We need them. Defensively, I thought we did a good job against the run. Here they try a little screen. Daniel Dorsey comes up, makes a really nice play from safety, wraps up, hangs on, and we get a lot of hats around the ball. And that's something that that we preach, that we're going to swarm to the football and get as many hats there, not just trust one guy to make the tackle. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that. We did have a few loafs that we had to address, but we did a decent job with it. Here, Spencer Dacus just wadding up the middle on the run game. And Jaquil Edmond coming up from corner to make a nice tackle. I thought Spencer had a great game. He was very, very physical in the middle. Made it really hard for them to run anything in between the tackles. And that's what we got to have out of him. One of the strongest kids on our football team. Here again, they try to run the ball, and Dacus just wads it up. And then linebackers get there, and it's a tackle for a loss. And, when you got a kid that knows that can do that, that is a luxury. And as strong as he is, he's, anyone we play, their center better be ready because he's a beast in there. Here, a third down. Nice job by Shante. They throw a little quick game out there and a great tackle. It's 3rd and 5. He wants to gain 2 yards. So what? Come up, make the tackle. We'll take the 4th and 3 in the punt. And he did a great job coming out of his break and making a nice form tackle. Back on offense, we got a 3rd and long situation here. And we run a little sprint out, and Tyler Franks makes a nice catch for us on the out route. He's a kid that's going to have to be a weapon for us, take a little heat off Brent Carr. And that's a big catch, and he can do it. He's a 6'4" kid. Who's got ability. He's just got to get out there and get some confidence and make some plays. And AJ made a nice ball there, threw a nice ball there. Right here, we get single coverage with Brent, and you can see AJ checking. If we get a lot of that one-on-one over there, AJ's going to definitely try and get the ball to Brent Carr as he does here. And Brent goes up, makes a nice play, and just steps out of bounds. Wish he could have kept those feet in, but we'll take the catch. And that's going to provide some matchup issues for teams this year. What are they going to do if they're going to single up Brent out there? Like they're doing right here, then we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to make checks and get them the football. Here, AJ sees it on 2nd and long, makes a check, and then hits Brent on a little skinny, and he beats the corner, and he got a touchdown, And those are the kind of things that we're going to have to do to take some pressure off that offensive line and open up that run game a little bit. And we were able to do that Friday night, which I'm glad because that's something teams are going to have to prepare for. Back on the defensive side, again, did a lot of really good things in the run game, stopping the run. Here they go 2 tights, and Dacus just wads up the middle and creates nowhere for them to run. And they got some good running backs over there. Last year in AA, they had the 2 fastest kids in the state at the track meet, in Bryce Bailey and the Farrow kid who's at Kennesaw State now. And here you see Bryce at quarterback. He's the 2nd fastest kid in the state last year. He runs a little boot, and there goes De'Eric Jackson, our big linebacker, gets him one-on-one in space, does a great job of hanging with him and tackling for a 3-yard gain. That's why he's going to Kentucky, and he's a D1 football player. Making tackles like that on a kid that's fast, that can run. But a great job by De'Eric there. Here again, you see De'Eric, they run a little crossing route. He sniffs it out and makes a vicious hit in the middle. Love that. We look forward to being able to come up and make hits like that and set the tone. You can see it from the end zone angle. De'Eric sees the cross, reads it perfect, takes a nice angle, and a great form tackle there by 7. Back on the offensive side again, they're singling up Brent out there still, loading that box, which is what we want right there. If we can get that matchup, we'll take it. And AJ just steps back, throws it up. Brent goes up, makes a play, and that's all it takes. They get an offensive pass interference on, or defensive pass interference on it, and we decline it. We got another touchdown. But those are things that we've got to do, to open up that inside and soften up that box a little bit. Here again against the run, great job by Daniel Lindo stuffing the edge, and that's against the big tackle, the big 65 that's going D1. Daniel, snaps his head back here a little bit, holds his ground right there, forces a bubble that the running back has to bounce, and if you're bouncing out to 7, we're going to be in pretty good shape because I feel like 7 and 6 are going to make those tackles in that C gap. Back on the offensive side, we had a lot of success with these tight formations with them single covering out there. We were able to run the ball a little bit as well as hit Brent on the ice. They've backed off a little bit. So we run stretch here. There's Lorenzo Turner getting the edge. He's probably the fastest kid on our football team. If we can get him out in space and get him some carries, I think he could pop 1 or 2 a game for us. If we can block it up front. But he does a great job. They're picking up 8 yards on the stretch. Again, we reduced the set up top. Run stretch the other way. Daniel Dorsey's now in. Nice, tough run, lowering his head, getting the first down. That's key. You got 3rd and short. We got to get that first down at all costs. And he does a good job on the edge there. But you're going to see a lot of different guys running the football for us. I think Dorsey, Turner, Shante Burney, Christian Cove, and all those guys are going to get touches for us. Here, first down. Again, hand the ball to Dorsey, makes a nice cut, wiggles, moves in, picks up, 13 yards or 11 yards, sorry. But we'll take that. I mean, that's what we got to have. If he can get back there and run the football for us and play safety, he's one of our better players. We need to get the ball to him. And you can see they're starting to double up Brent, which is opening up the running game. We run a toss here to Shante, gets the edge. Wish he'd lower his shoulder there and be a little more physical. But he gets down inside the 10-yard line on a big run. But that's what happens when they start putting 2 guys out there on Brent. I mean, it's going to open up those run lanes for us. Here, really tough 10-yard run by Dorsey. Run the toss right here. He gets on the edge. Kid's got an angle on him. He just runs over him. Nice. And we'll take that all day. That's what we want. Guys being physical, being tough. We preach it no matter what. We need to be the most physical team on the football field. And I felt like they did a good job of that Friday. Here again, Daniel Lindo just getting off a block and just making a play. Guys swarming to the ball. And that's the kind of defense we want to see. They had a few runs on us. There was a couple plays where I was in a bad check and they took advantage of, and I was, being a little stubborn and didn't want to get out of it right away. But eventually, our guy, we made an adjustment. They did a good job. There's Burney, nice open field tackle. On the hitch route out there again, we'll give up the short stuff, come up, make a tackle, make them snap the ball again. Here again, Dacus just making a great play at nose, just whipping the center. Tackle for loss again. That's the fast kid. That's that cat can run, and you got our nose out there ripping through the A gap and making a heck of a play. Here we blitz and they try a little reverse. A great job by T.J. Jones containing, and there's Big Dacus again hitting in the backfield. That's a D1 kid right there that we're tackling for a loss on a reverse. In a scrimmage game when you ain't had a lot of time to work, stuff like that. So you got to feel good about stuff like that. Here's Shante Burney. It does a nice job here in coverage, a little press coverage, stays on his guy. Good job over the top, makes a nice play there. I think they call a holding on us for that, but I told him, I said, man, I'll take that early in the season. I think that's a great play. I wish, we didn't treat high school like it was the NFL where every time you breathed on somebody it was pass interference. It's high school football. Let them play football a little bit. Again, they're trying to run the power. We do a good job stuffing it up, and just when you don't see any creases there, that's what I'm looking for. It's when they start squirting through that I start to feel nervous. And this is that big drive. They're on a big long drive here that we had them stop 3 times, and we extend it with penalties. Or dumb things on our part. Here it's 3rd and 1, and we make a great stop with their best player at quarterback. Running power there, and we come up and De'Eric blows up the guard, and we stop them for a 4th down. Gives us a chance to get off the field. Later on, again, they're getting down close, and a good job by De'Eric and Devontae really fitting in there and stuffing them on that. I like to see the red zone defense, get down tight, keep them out of the end zone, and they did a good job here. Last couple plays here. I think Jaquil Edmond makes a nice play there. Kid makes a great catch. We got him down at the 5-yard line, and our goal here is, man, just keep them out of the end zone, make them kick field goals, and we end up stuffing a couple runs here. You see one from the 5, stuff them again here from the 1-yard line, which is great. We come up and blow up the inside, force him to bounce. We get great pursuit to the football, and he's tackled. Then finally here, last one on 4th down, we get a chance to get off the field here. They try a little slant on 4th and goal from the 5-yard line, and Jaquil Edmond and Andrew Green make a nice play out there to break it up and to get us the football back. And that pretty much ended the first half. Had a couple plays right before the half where Xavier Lewis had a nice interception and returned it back. But overall, pretty good job by our guys, I thought, in the first half of football.
Coach, there it is, the first half, like you say, pretty much overall a good first half of football, good physical football. That's what you want to see. You had to be pleased with the performance. And as you look at the highlights, ladies and gentlemen, you have to pay attention to what's going on that offensive line, because that's been a factor that's been there for a year or so. And you know, when looking at the year ahead, you got young men, they're moving their feet are forward. By and large, most of them doing their job, but you're still young, you got to see some growth there.
Yeah, I mean, and not so much just the youth, but the fact that there's a lack of experience. You know, that Friday nights, it's a different animal out there. And when you get under those lights, if you've never been under them, you know, you can get a little deer in the headlights.
Sure.
But I thought those guys did a great job. I thought they really fought. They played hard. And if they're playing hard and they're coachable, we can live with it. We can take those two factors and survive with that, you know, more than we can a big kid who's going to be lazy.
Yeah, amen. Hey, we'll take a short break, be right back. We're going to look at the game ahead this week against East Lawrence, so stay with us.
Good afternoon. Sit Up Dublin Natural Gas Department, Yvonne speaking. How may I help you? You're smelling gas inside your house? Eric, at 709 Bell Drive, they're smelling gas inside their house. Could you go check it out, please?
10-4, I'll be en route.
One of our service personnel is being dispatched. At this time, please evacuate your home and move to a safe destination, away from the potential gas leak. Do not light a match, turn on any electrical switches or devices. Do not hang up your phone, place it down and leave. And please do not re-enter your home until a leak investigation has been conducted by our gas department.
Mr. Cates, I'm Brad. This is Eric. We were the City of Dublin Gas. Are you, you say you called us about smelling some gas?
Yes.
Everybody outside? Well, what we're going to do, Eric's going to go to the side of the house, check the meter out, make sure everything's okay, nothing's running through the meter. I'm going to check around the door, and then we'll go inside and kind of see what's going on.
Okay.
Mr. Case, we went inside and checked around the ceiling, pretty much everywhere, all your appliances, and it looks like you're in good shape. The reason that we check up high around the ceiling is natural gas is lighter than air. It's always going to rise. We checked all your appliances. Absolutely nothing was indicated as far as gas leak goes. So I believe you're in good shape.
All right.
Mr. Case, we appreciate your business and being a natural gas customer. We're on call 24 hours, 7 days a week. If there's anything that you ever need, give us a call. We'll be more than glad to come out and check anything that you need.
Okay. All right. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day, sir.
All right.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Slip into fun all summer long at the Southern Pines Water Park. Open Monday through Friday 10 till 6, Saturday and Sunday 8 till 6. The weather is hot, so cool off today in the lazy river, the splash pool, or the 6-lane lap pool, or squill into fun with the 20-foot water slide. Grab the kids, grab the family, and head on out to the Southern Pines Water Park in Dublin.
Welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, here with head coach Kagan McLean. We're talking about football Friday night, first regular season game. You play host this year to East Lawrence.
Yeah, East Lawrence coming over, and Coach Turner's done a fabulous job with those guys. Watching them on film, they are vastly improved from last year. He was in a little bit of a rebuilding mode last year. Had to take what he had and get the best he could out of it. But they're much more organized. They're a physical football team. They've got some athletes. I think he's done a fabulous job over there, and I think it's going to be a really good football game that we better be ready for.
Yeah, you feel like it's going to be different than last year.
Well, I mean, I think that I'm not going to take anybody for granted. Like I said, that you can tell they've been in the weight room this all season. You can tell they've been coached, and if we don't go out there and play well, then it's a game we could lose. Yeah. So we need to get out there and we need to play tough. We need to do what we do, be physical, and do what we have to do to win the football game.
Coach, you look at a little bit of film on them, you studied them up. I mean, you're going to break it all down, that's for sure, no matter who it is. Right. Where do they have strong points?
They got a little quarterback this year that's a good runner. He's an athlete back there, which always defensively puts a little pressure on you. So they're running zone and zone read out of it, and he's giving it, and he's pulling it and getting on the edge and being athletic, and I think that's dangerous. Their O-line is much improved. They're all stepping, getting downhill, getting hands on people, doing what they need to do. Defensively, very organized. They're aligning correctly to formations. It looks like they're in sound spots defensively, and I think when you do that, no matter what your level of athlete is, you give yourself a chance to win, and they've definitely done that.
Yeah. All right, Coach, in looking at West Lawrence, any injuries, anything we need to look at from last week? You mentioned Coop, he's recouping
Right.
well. He's doing his rehab, and that leg will get stronger and stronger as the year goes along, we trust. But anyone else you're concerned about?
Right now, we're healthy. Praise the Lord. We don't have any. Hopefully, that'll continue through practice today and tomorrow. But yeah, right now we're good. We don't have anybody really on the injured list, so we've got guys ready to go and ready to get after it.
Coach, you're always setting up what's coming next. You got to be that way as a coach. You're looking later in the season. Again, as a coach, look at the first part of the season is getting ready for the part that matters, getting ready for your region play. And it is what it is. You're going to try some things. You're going to keep certain things in the box, and you're going to do what you're going to do, again, to set up for later on. You see any difference in your game plan of what you did last week? Run first, throw it, loosen it up.
Well, it kind of adjusts a little bit with who you play, but I think obviously offensively that we want AJ and Brent to be our weapons, and we want to give the ball to Dorsey and give the ball to Bernie and give the ball to Turner once those run lanes inside open up. I think we're definitely going to do that. Defensively, I just want to be physical. If we can be physical early in the year, and we can hit people and we can swarm to the football, when the games that matter come, we'll be ready. We obviously want to be ready for region play. Last year, we didn't do a good job of that. We had a great first part of the year, and then we had some key injuries when we got into region play, and we weren't mentally tough enough to overcome those injuries and have the next guy step in and make plays. I was disappointed in that, and I feel like this year we got a little different energy with these guys. I think that they are a little bit more mentally tough as a team overall, and I'm not looking to see the same result that we had when we really just tanked there at the end of the year.
Coach, you know as well as I do, and you believe it, that sometimes you got to play with a little injury. You got to play with a little pain.
Right.
So what you're saying is mentally you feel like you got a little bit mentally tougher team.
Yeah, I feel like, in the offseason we really stressed some things about being mentally tough, about leadership. I felt like, we had a bunch of really good kids last year, but we didn't have a bunch of strong leaders in that senior class. This senior class has a lot more vocal kids, guys who are holding each other accountable, and I think that's going to pay off in the leadership part of it. And the mental toughness just means it's not so much dealing with physical injuries. It's when things happen that don't go your way, that you can push it to the side and step up and make the next play without dwelling on it. And a lot of times last year we got those kids hurt, or we had a lead and they started to chip away at that lead, and mentally we just collapsed with that. This year I think that we've got some guys that are going to be tough. We're going to be able to push through that, and as a whole, hopefully we'll be able to overcome some of that.
Coach, who was the outstanding player or players on defense last week?
Well, Spencer Dacus had an outstanding game in the middle, really just dominating the middle of that offensive line for them. I thought he played really, really well. I thought Shante Burney played really, really well at corner, came up, made some key tackles, did some good things for us. We've got some guys that can. I feel good about our front seven. We've got some question marks in the secondary, but I think those two guys especially had really good games. De'Eric Jackson always plays really well for us. So hopefully we can. I'd like it every week someone else to step up and be the guy. So hopefully we'll have some other guys rise above this week.
All right, flip it over on offense.
Definitely Brent Carr and AJ. I thought they did a great job of connecting and opening up those run lanes inside by being a threat outside. I thought Daniel Dorsey, when he was at running back, ran the ball really hard. I thought Shante Burney ran the ball well, and I thought the O-line played above expectations. So if they can keep getting better, I think there's some good things to look forward to.
So if you had to pick an offensive lineman as your offensive lineman of the week?
That'd be tough. Talking to the O-line coach, they were really impressed with how Charles Knight played, and he's our smallest offensive lineman. But they said he really got after it, was really moving his feet, was really working hard in there. And if you can do that, like I said, then we've got a chance. But I guess I'd go with him.
All right. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. So 7:30 for the remainder of the year, 7:30 kickoff. It's a home game for West Lawrence. We want you to turn out early, turn out loud, turn out proud. And it's a good, rivalry, cross-county rivalry. We feel like it'll be a better game than last year, so you want to come out and see what's going on and support the Raiders. Thank you for what you do, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.